Alright, so now we need to fast forward to Masyaf, where we can now go and speak to Al-Mualim about our success in assassinating Garnier. And also so we can officially get another one of our weapons back.
When you are exposed, tackle people who are in your way to maintain momentum, and utilize your sprint ability when the path is clear.
And now I shall mute myself once the game loads because we have another cutscene. Here it is.
Have you news for me, Altair?
Garnier de Naplouse is dead.
Excellent. We could not have hoped for a more agreeable outcome.
And yet,
What is it?
the doctor insisted his work was noble. And looking back, those who were supposedly his captives seemed grateful to the man. Not all of them, but enough to make me wonder. How did he manage to turn enemy into friend?
Leaders will always find ways to make others obey them. And that is what makes them leaders. When words fail, they turn to coin. When that won't do, they resort to baser things. Bribes, threats, and other types of trickery. There are plants, Altair. Herbs from distant lands that can cause a man to take leave of his senses. So great are the pleasures it brings, men may even become enslaved by it.
You think these men were drugged then? Poisoned?
Yes, if it truly was as you describe it.
Herbs. This seems a strange method of control.
Our enemies have accused me of the same.
The promise of paradise.
They think it is a garden, overflowing with women and pleasure. But I drug you as Garnier did his men, and tempt you with its rewards.
They do not know the truth of it.
Which is how it must be.
But if they knew the truth of it, that all we seek is peace.
Then they would not fear us, and we would have no hold over them. Go. It is time you continued with your work. Another rank is restored to you, as is a piece of your equipment. We'll speak again when the next has fallen.
Okay, we now have our throwing knives back, and an ability we have also unlocked is Tackle. Press and hold R1 and circle. And of course we need to practice this in the courtyard because, well, it's a new technique we have to train ourselves for, is what me thinks. Although, because this is the same memory block, I honestly don't know. Well, since I don't have to practice it out here in the courtyard, I'm just going to get on with heading over to Jerusalem. As of which, that is where our next target will be located, and the man's name is Talal. But of course, we will need to do the usual viewpoint locations, along, of course, with also doing the citizen rescues. And just need to head down here to the bottom of the mountain. And so there is the gate, and we shall now ride out into the distance once again as the Lone Ranger. Or at least the Lone Ranger I consider myself to be. Who is pretty much out for blood. But also making sure he does not become responsible for killing the innocent. Even though some innocent people will probably be dead. Even though some of these innocent people will of course be dead. Because they are in betrayal of the guards as well as the leaders. Well, that's just what I think. Anyways.
When you are
Galloping
exposed,
into the
use
distance
sharp
once
turns
again.
Or climb over buildings to break your pursuer's line of sight.
All I have to do now is wait for the game to load, and now we just need to head over to Jerusalem, since that is where my next target is located. And got some witnesses here, but I don't think any of them are Templars. They do not appear to have any concerns with me, so I shall just gallop onwards to Jerusalem. Unless one of them actually tells me something important, which I doubt is going to be the case, but you know. So, heading up here, as of which I think we need to head southeast. And this is where the checkpoint is located. So, now heading down the hill once again, and no doubt in saying there will of course be some guards we may encounter along the way. And officially, we now head down the hill, keeping myself in unity with the GPS, and I have now just exposed myself. But it's fine, because I can easily escape him once I've reached the checkpoint. And I need to head up here. So, getting closer now to Jerusalem as we speak. Jerusalem, of course, as most people should know very well, is the capital of Israel. And I can easily lose the guards in just a matter of minutes. Of course. Oh, that's not where I need to go. I shall find my way down into the village, also making contact with one of the guards to do it though, which is not something I'm particularly proud of, but as long as it results in 100% perfection, I really don't care. Oh, sorry. And oh, okay. I do need to head this way, in fact. I think. Am I going the right direction here? I am not. And all I'm going to do now is try and see where it is I need to head. I am not going the right way, apparently. I'm going in basically all of the wrong directions at the moment. Almost no direction I'm going in is the right direction. And that especially isn't the right direction. I'm definitely struggling here at the moment. Well, I'm going to assume this is where I need to go, but I really don't know for sure. Because, well, the GPS is actually confusing me at the moment, but I think this is the way to go. Okay, this must be the way to go. The GPS is very confusing, by the way. GPS can be very confusing. To me personally. But regardless of the circumstances, it's only taken me about 9 minutes to actually make it all the way over here.
Remember to reach out for ledges should you fall while climbing.
And so, now we just wait for the game itself to load. And so, we are now in Jerusalem. Seems to be peaceful here at the moment. Also managing to stay away from the citizens. And there is the main entrance. So, have some guards here, but not going to take care of any of them because, well, they have no relevance to me whatsoever. Except for saying there is a scholar here that needs to be saved.
Stop this, please! You're hurting me!
And yep, okay. Go fuck yourself. Come on. Come on. Come on. And there we go. We have saved a scholar.
Is that the last of them? I hope so. Still, best not to take any chances. I'll hurry home. Don't think I'll leave it again anytime soon, either. You've done me a kindness, young man. Be assured, I won't forget it. These are dark days indeed.
And now, we just need to head over to the scholars so we can get through to the city itself. So, our first citizen has officially been saved, and of course, we do manage to successfully sneak through the guards. Okay, now we have snuck past the guard posts. And so, now, we shall head over to our first viewpoint, which is literally all the way up there. And of course, we also have an interrogation to do, but not going to cause too much of a stir up just yet, because I do of course need to get the viewpoint before I can do this. And so, heading up to the roof. Also trying not to fuck myself in the process whilst I am climbing. Okay, let's try this again. except for saying this time I'm gonna try from... I'm gonna try from a different view. Although, at least I can say I didn't die this time, which is one improvement. And so, I shall use these ledges here, because that is how I will get up to the top. And there we go. I have made it to the top of my first viewpoint. After 3 failed attempts. And so, now, performing the leap of faith, also obtained my first mission along with my first citizen to save, but of course I cannot say what order that will be in. But what I will do, however, is go over to viewpoint number 2, which apparently might be is over here. And trying to make it so I am not being followed by the guards. I have no idea why I keep sitting in the benches for some reason. It's very weird in my opinion, but at the very least it proves I am trying to make my way up to the top, which personally I think to me is quite possibly what it is I need to do. And that's not the direction I need to head in, apparently. I need to head over here to my next viewpoint. And yep, okay, that was not going to work. I had a feeling it wasn't going to work, but somehow I still decided to attempt it anyway. That place is heavily guarded. Gonna have to use the ladder to surpass the guards, because that is how I will do this. And so, I head up to the roof. And hopefully no one will be throwing rocks at me. Which oddly enough is more or less what I can say they have been doing. Anyways, 2 viewpoints down, and we still have 7 to go. So, let's now move on to viewpoint number 3, which is right over here. Because that is the next location in which I shall head. And so, that is where I need to head next.
Have you gone mad?
And now, climbing up the chapel, as which I think this is a chapel. And up to the top we go. And that is now my 3rd viewpoint here in the rich district of Jerusalem. So, really don't want to take any chances early on. Just want to keep myself alive.
We are the true children of God.
And there is a citizen that needs to be saved, but I'm not going to get to him yet because I need to make it over to my next viewpoint, which is up here, I think.
We must end this before it has
Okay.
a chance to begin.
And so, I shall try and see if there is anywhere I can climb up. There is a window that is my target. So, up here I head, and now I just need to head... Oh, okay, that's not what I needed to do.
But I say, this is an honor to die in
And... okay, this is not where I need to go. So... I need to find somewhere else to head. So... I need to go through the center in order to get my viewpoint. And, coincidentally enough, I've now spotted my viewpoint. As of which I think this is a dome, which I see in front of me. And so... oh, okay. Anyways. 4 viewpoints have now been discovered, and we still have another 5 remaining. Unless I've just discovered 5. Oh, there it is. Okay. That's actually hidden pretty goodly. That's pretty goodly hidden in my opinion, with that viewpoint. I did have a moment of confusion, but at least I can say it didn't confuse me too much, so... oh, okay, that's not where I need to head. And so... I need to head over here. And... okay. I cannot see anywhere I need to head, although... oh, there he is. I have found my ledgers.
Leave this place.
And... oh, good defense, but not good enough. Good defense, but not good enough. And yep, okay. This could go pretty mediocre if I don't make it to the top. But that's pretty much what my target is, because I have to make it to the very top in order to unlock my investigations. Thankfully, no other guards have spotted me from up here, so... we do have a citizen to save underneath us, but... I am not officially going to take care of him yet, and of course there is a citizen right over there, but I do of course have a total of 11 citizens left over, so let's see, can I make it on the ledge? Yes I can! I have made it over to the ledge, and now I shall head over here. And so, I shall use my assassination blade and immediately kill the archer, right before he kills me. And I do have a feeling I probably will get some arrows eventually, maybe even a crossbow, if I'm lucky. As of which, a crossbow is easier to use than a normal bow. It's almost like using a gun, I guess you could say. because you're only really having to focus on the accuracy and not, you know, necessarily losing control of the weapon itself. And so we now have just three viewpoints left over, and we do also have some throwing knives, but I'm not going to use those yet because ultimately I want to introduce you to those once I have officially done this. I don't think the guards will have any problems with me climbing up the building because I'm not causing any evil activity, or any activity they claim to be evil, of course. But we do, of course, need to climb up to the very top if we are going to make it. And, yep, okay. And here's another one I just had to kill. And so, on the very edge of the rooftop, or the rook, I should say, as of which that's precisely what the towers on these castles are called. They are called rooks. And now we have just 2 viewpoints left over here in the rich district of Jerusalem, as of which compared to the others we've started in the poor district, but here in Jerusalem we've actually had to start off here in the rich district, which is different compared to what I've had to withstand previously. And so, I shall now climb up the wall to officially obtain my next viewpoint, as of which, up to this point, in spite of me having to kill a few guards, I've done exceptionally well in terms of obtaining my viewpoints. And so, we just need to head up here, and we should now have just 1 viewpoint left over, and then once we have obtained that viewpoint, we should be all done. And so, we have one final viewpoint to obtain whilst we are here. And that viewpoint is over here. And of course this area is heavily guarded. So, I need to climb up the walls. Or at least try to climb up the walls. And so... Ah, damn it. That did not work. Let's see if I can manage to make it work this time. Nope, not over there. There we go. That's what I needed to do. To make it past the guard posts. I'm sure they will not have any any problems with me climbing up the walls, as of which I do need to do this if I am to obtain that one final viewpoint. And we also need to find some ledges whilst we are here. And... okay, still need to go a little bit further here, as of which I'm going to assume this is the Jerusalem City Hall. And it's literally at the top of here that we have our viewpoint. So yeah, I'm going to assume this is the Jerusalem City Hall, judging by the size of the building. But anyways, there we go. Our final viewpoint has now been discovered. And all we have to do now is save the citizens. So, all of our viewpoints have now been discovered. All we need to do now is head onwards to saving the citizens, which will be coming up next.